Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Yeah, Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to on today's episode. Because it's Wednesday, we're going to be taking a look at your hot takes from the world of professional wrestling. And first up, of course, everybody's talking about AJ Lee's return to the WWE. Well, the Wrestling Pro 69, nice, has a hot take here who says AJ Lee's return is greater than CM Punk's return. I assume we mean to the WWE, not AEW. I don't know, but
Well, I guess it depends which of Punk's return. Is it Punk's return from wrestling, back to wrestling, not from wrestling, to wrestling when he went to AEW, or Punk's WWE return?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, in any event, let's just stick with the WWE.
Sure.
Because, like, the AEW one, that might have been the all-timer right there. My goodness.
Yeah, that was pretty well done.
That was huge.
Gosh. I mean, they're both out of nowhere, kind of.
Both kind of out of nowhere to a degree.
Neither I thought it was a high probability that they would happen.
I feel like within the context of what was happening at the time, AJ's is more surprising. I figured that when she left pro wrestling, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So I am more surprised at this one. I think we both kind of felt, does WWE want to take sort of, their chances on CM Punk? Will everybody get along? Will they all get on the same page?
Yeah, or that bridge been burned and beyond repair. Yeah.
Like, knowing what we know now, it's like, hey, man, Triple H, this dude will do business. He probably took that from Vince, probably. Unless there's a bridge that's way too burned, then, like, they're not going to. I'm actually kind of surprised that they handled Del Rio the way they handled Del Rio in AAA, because the crowd really liked Del Rio. It's not like bringing him into, like, it's not like they would need to bring him on main roster or anything, like, in terms of their WWE programming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides like a little promotion here and there.
Yeah, for like Worlds Collide this weekend, for example.
Yeah, But yeah, I mean, Punk had I think that dude was on a mission. He was like, hey, I want to, what the fuck is this? I was done dirty in his estimation, I'd imagine, by AEW. He had wanted to go back to WWE in the first place, going back to like 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a situation where, hey, I can talk to Triple H. We're all older. In Triple H's estimation, I've grown as an individual. And so, I'm much more interested in being on the same page. So we're going to go ahead and make this work. Never really knowing, like, his exodus from WWE was a lot more, like, open and public and transparent than I think AJ Lee's was. I mean, she's talked about it, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you never know. You think that somebody's gone through that kind of mental health journey. Maybe the root of it was pro wrestling. Why would you ever want to step back into that? That was a possibility, I think.
I would imagine working for WWE, the period where AJ was there was probably taxing in a lot of respects.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She said as much. The CM Punk chance that she was getting incessantly after he left was, a big deal.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Triple H seems, for the most part, I feel like less likely to hold a grudge than Vince was. For the most part. Because a lot of the reconciliations that happened seemingly when Vince was still there, like with Warrior, with Bruno. Mm-hmm. My understanding, especially with the Bruno one, is that Triple H was the one that was at the fore of a lot of that.
Yeah, he was the ambassador. He was the diplomat. He'd be the Secretary of State being sent out to mend those fences. But, there is also Vince, if he could make money with somebody, he was willing to overlook a lot. You mentioned Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
From Vince's standpoint, this guy...
he gave that dude like 4 chances.
He really did. He gave him a lot of chances.
I'll say this. I feel like AJ's promo on Raw this week. It's better than any promo that Punk has had since he's come back to WWE.
Ooh. I feel like you're right. This dude, between this, I don't know, man. Like, those other guys are known for best wrestling, AEW. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Hangman's promo in Espanol was a killer promo.
Yeah.
But between that, Naomi leaving, and AJ's might be my promo of the year so far.
Could be. It could be. I feel like a lot of Punk's best promo work since he's come back has been when he's in the ring with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stuff with Drew. There was that one with Drew and Seth, I believe.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a really good segment, yeah.
In terms of him just coming to the ring and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, my memory's not that good these days, but I can't really feel like there's one that really sticks out. Whereas Punk and AEW, I can think of 2, 3, or 4 that were really memorable. Can't really think of many while he's come back to WWE that I was like, oh, man. That's going to go down the annals of history as something to remember.
In my head, I see you I picture you sitting like probably right there watching AEW when he said counterfeit bucks, and you were like, oh, counterfeit bucks.
Oh, no, it's MJF, will you be my Valentine?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's a good line.
No, for me, it was real world champion.
That's checked out Phil in AEW, man. He's like,
no way,
I
man.
guess I got to be here.
He spray painted that title, and then MJF
He's not letting me out of my contract. I got to be here. He gave me my own show.
And then MJF completely no-sold that another guy is calling himself world champion. Yep. It was CM Punk, no less.
I know.
Oh, man. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'll say this. If I let me go ahead and do this. I will power, because this is a very diplomatic way of doing it, I guess. I will power rank the top 3 returns of CM Punk WWE, CM Punk AEW, and AJ Lee. I would say CM Punk AEW is number 1. I mean, dude, come on. Like, that's just... And then AJ Lee number 2 and CM Punk WWE. I mean, he had that kind of goofy haircut. He had the white t-shirt and the gray jeans. And he shows up after everybody. Like, Randy Orton had already come back that day.
Yeah.
And he just sort of shows up and he smiles. You know, AJ Lee coming back. And that song that she's got, look, nothing against Cult of Personality. It's awesome. But, you know, we've heard a million times.
We haven't heard Light It Up.
Light It Up. In
more than a decade.
And to see and honestly, some of it also is, I don't know the lady, but she seems so gosh darn nice. You know, like, it's like, oh, this is probably really good for her to come back, and whatever negative thoughts or feelings or experiences she had with pro wrestling, it seems like maybe this is a way to come back and exercise some of those things, you know? Mm-hmm. And there's just that sort of good feeling. And then you see her and Phil, and he's all beaming, almost going to cry. And they did, in fact, kiss. I saw the video.
Yeah, they showed it in the recap last night.
It was a quick one. That was a very quick one.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little bit more tongue would have been good. That's gross.
You really think they're going to do that on Raw? Maybe if they win at Wrestlepalooza. Who knows?
There you go.
Probably not.
So, yeah, there you go. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below.
Next up, hot take here from, Camo Mustafa, WWE, says AJ Lee's return promo was the best use of 20 to 30-minute promo all year. Paul Heyman should be in the hospital more often.
Yeah, I'm not sad that we're not getting a lot of Paul Heyman promos these days, because they just weren't doing a whole hell of a lot. Now, the question is, and I agree with this, the question is, how many of this is a singular event. It's her big return party. Is she going to be able, are they going to come up with material enough that will match the quality of somebody coming back and dropping a great promo like this? That's the big question, right?
Well, so much of the promo is in its delivery. And yes, you know, there's probably a certain level of anticipation and excitement on her part to deliver that promo. But given how charismatic and charming she is, I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe not to this level, but continually, she's dropping good promos on a regular basis. If this is, a run past Wrestlepalooza, I think
So
that's
you're
still a
saying
major if.
Every week you want to see 20-minute AJ promos start the show every week.
Even if it's 75% of what this one was, yeah.
You're down.
Rather have that than have another Vision promo 20-minute long.
Okay, yeah, if it's one or the other. Although Becky coming out and dropping a 20-minute promo is her character, she's fucking funny, dude. She's fucking funny.
She is. But I think your power ranking earlier, or your nominees for promo of the year, are spot on. I think it's Hangman in Arena, Mexico. I think it's AJ's return promo, and then Naomi when she announced her pregnancy. Yeah, I think those are the ones.
To me, Naomi's was the most pound for pound entertaining, minute for minute, I should say, entertaining, because she's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
she's so funny, and
to see her go back and forth between being in character and out of character, and at times both, it was.
Is it possible this week on Raw we saw the two best backstage promos in the same segment? From Penta and from Rusev?
Maybe.
Why you know love Penta?
I crush Sheamus. Rusev becomes champion.
Those are great lines.
They're so good.
They're so good. Go Birds. XTL has a hot take here, and he says this. We're going to bring it down here. The Brock Lesnar return has flopped. It was a quote-unquote big moment to end SummerSlam, but no one really cares to see him versus John Cena.
We don't even know what the story is, other than Brock is back and wants Cena. That's it. That's the story.
Yeah, is he giving a reason why?
No.
Why are you here, Brock?
He said one sentence, I'll see you at Wrestlepalooza, bitch. That's all he said.
From that, can we extrapolate, hey, he just wants one more time with John Cena. He misses John. I think there's some subtext there.
Well, okay, but is I want one more match with Cena enough to overcome otherwise completely uninspired creative?
Okay, so I will say this. I agree with one clause out of this hot take as I drop one of my quarters. I agree with one clause. It was a big moment to end SummerSlam. And when you put big moment in quotation marks, it was kind of an empty big moment.
Yeah.
That's the subtext in this sentence here.
Yeah.
It was a moment just to be a moment. It wasn't a moment that really meant a damn besides, let's put this guy out there for a shock moment. And then we're going to do a match at Wrestlepalooza. The no one really cares bit. Look. No one cares that you see on your camera, on your TV screen or YouTube or a YouTube video right now. I could care less about this. I would rather have AJ Styles versus John Cena for Wrestlepalooza, or I'll be honest, any number of the other people, Dom Mysterio, any number of the other people. I can't speak for the numbers out there for other people, because I think generally speaking, I've seen anecdotally a lot of people who do give a damn about this, and that's okay. That's fine. Whatever gets you excited in pro wrestling is fine. But so I wouldn't go as far as to say no one really cares to see him. I feel like there's probably plenty of people who do. And I just think it's kind of too early to say if whether or not the return has flopped or not.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, we kind of need the match first.
So, I think the match is only part of the criteria as to whether it flopped or not. If they're bringing Brock back to A, give Cena another marquee name to feud with on his retirement tour, and probably more so, B, load up the Wrestlepalooza card. If this first show on ESPN kind of gets underwhelming numbers, and this match is the main event.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Then flop territory, yes.
Oh yeah, if you can, yeah, if you're the main event, and people are like, that's not enough to get me to pony up
$30 now, because apparently it's only going to be on the app. Like there was, in the initial announcement of WWE pay-per-views coming to ESPN, there was some talk of some shows airing on ESPN.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And so apparently this first one is only going to be available on their direct-to-consumer app.
Okay, but like there is still segment of people who already get ESPN.
But they'll have to watch it on the app
app.
as opposed to the ESPN cable network. Yes.
Is YouTube TV included in that yet?
I don't know what the latest list of channels is, but I would imagine a lot of people are gonna have to plop down $30 to watch this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If that underwhelms, then absolutely you consider it a flop. From a business perspective, then yeah, you do. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't even look at the one metric that you can look at is like the YouTube numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's oftentimes I'll just sort of go to that, like, because they loaded up SmackDown, so you can consider, Brock part of a big turnaround for SmackDown. I don't know what the quarter hours are here. But, all right, I'm looking at, AJ Lee's return full segment, 5.2 million views.
Brock levels John Cena and Sami Zayn got 1.4.
Got 1.4, and then and then the actual match where it was just Sami Zayn and John Cena, that got 1 million.
Yeah.
So it's like without Brock, you're only losing about 400,000.
So AJ's return got 3 times the views.
Just his entrance, John Cena's almost got 1 million. So John Cena's kind of a big deal. So, I mean, dude, not insignificant, did over 1 million better than Aleister Black versus Damian Priest for 3 minutes, the 3-minute clip they put up there. But even AJ's full return, 5.2 million, AJ Lee and CM Punk soak in emotional return, that's 2.1 million. So that even outpaced Brock. So, I mean, is he a deal? Obviously he's a deal. But are they missing a ton without him? In my opinion, no.
No, I agree with you. I don't think he adds much value to the programming from my perspective.
Yeah.
We've seen in our comments, we've seen anecdotally people disagree. All right.
Yeah.
But Brock has more or less been doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's been times where, he was doing the Cowboy Brock stuff. That was a little different, but more or less since
he wore a hat then.
Yeah, no. Since he came back in 2012, I believe it was, he's pretty much done more or less the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it just, at this juncture, does not add much value to the television product.
Remember that time he had the boombox?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
That's kind of it there. That's kind of
it.
Yeah,
that was it.
Anyways, we got some sponsors for the show this week, man, so we're going to talk about them for a moment.
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. Steve, we could turn to some unexpected places for advice, whether it's your local barista or hairdresser. We've all probably turned to people in our community to talk about what's on our minds.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. And as productive as those conversations can be, when you're looking for help with your relationships, anxiety, depression, or other clinical issues, they may not provide the right answers. Instead, get some guidance from a credentialed therapist online with BetterHelp.
About 20 years ago, I had to go to therapy to get treatment for severe anxiety, and back then, looking for the right therapist could be a frustrating and time-consuming process. But BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. All you have to do to get started is fill out a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences. And BetterHelp's 10-plus years of experience in industry-leading batch fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. But if you aren't happy with your initial match, you can switch therapists at any time at no extra cost.
Plus, BetterHelp is completely online. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button so you can fit therapy into your busy schedule. And you can pause your subscription whenever you need to.
As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw. And this episode is sponsored by Tempo. The kids are back at school, and our schedules just got a whole lot busier, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Which also means we have less time to plan nutritious meals for ourselves and our families.
That's right, man. Well, instead of turning to fast food, turn to Tempo. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals, which takes all the guesswork out of eating well and are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes, so you can fuel yourself without sacrificing your health or your valuable free time.
Temple also offers up over 20 meal options each week, like braised red wine beef and Sunday sauce meatballs that are made with real, nutrient-rich ingredients, so it's easy to keep up with your healthy lifestyle. And you know me, Steve, as someone who wants, no, I need to hit my protein goals every day. Tempo is a great option because they offer a range of meals for different dietary preferences, including fiber-rich, carb-conscious, and oh yeah, protein-packed options.
And for a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/raw. That's tempomeals.com/raw for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/raw. Rules and restrictions may apply.
And this episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Brooklyn Betting. Steve, I got a question for you. How many times have I talked to you about feeling tired, lethargic, unenergetic, and just generally short on quality sleep? How many times does that happen?
Survey says all the time.
Yeah. I mean, as I've gotten older, the more I've learned to value and appreciate a good night's sleep. But here's the rub. With each passing year, it seems I get less and worse sleep. Like half the time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, my neck hurts. My back hurts. My hip hurts. Maybe it's part of getting old, or maybe me and my bed, just right there, just aren't a good match.
That could be, man. Well, maybe Brooklyn Betting can help you out, Larson. You see, Brooklyn Betting knows that sleep isn't one size fits all, which is why they offer mattresses for every body and every sleep style. And if you're not sure what mattress is right for you, just take the Brooklyn Betting Sleep Quiz, and you'll find out what your perfect match is in under 2 minutes. We just went through that whole process with my kid, Devin, and he's been sleeping like a log on the Aurora Lux cooling mattress that we got for him. But if he changes his mind within 120 nights, guess what? Brooklyn Betting's comfort trial will allow him to return or swap it hassle-free.
So go to brooklynbetting.com and use our promo code RAW at checkout to get 30% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. That's brooklynbetting.com, promo code RAW for 30% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you. brooklynbetting.com, promo code RAW.
All right, man. Time for the next hot take. This one is from Starman Stews, who says, ESPN will be a hard dividing line in the wrestling community. They think they can keep milking us for all we're worth. And I think the buck will stop here for many fans.
I mean, it might for some. I don't know what the breaking point's going to be. Of course, it'll be different for different people. But you got to think at a certain point, there will be a breaking point where WWE is like, hey, we just want a bunch of money from our fan base. And the fan base is like, you've taken it all already. I literally cannot afford to follow your product any longer. I've maxed out all the Klarna I can do for tickets.
No Klarna, no way.
Yeah, cut spending so I can spend all the money I have available, discretionary income, on all the variety of streaming services I have to subscribe to just to watch your product.
Yeah.
I don't know when that time is going to come. I think at a certain point, it might in the near future. But until that happens, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a hard dividing line. Here's the thing. If the quality of the programming really goes south, that's really going to be the dividing line, I think.
Yeah.
As opposed to, all right, here's another streaming service you have to subscribe to.
Did we get an amount for the ESPN deal? Like what the...
Oh, yeah. I thought it was like 5 years, like $300 million.
We did get that. That's right. Yeah. I don't know what ESPN is going to expect in terms of like the numbers. They're in this deal. Cable is still, I think... cable, as for as much cord cutting as there's been, cable's still in a lot of homes. And so the people who have that already, there's not going to be like a big deal for them.
Well, once they have access to the ESPN app and not have to subscribe on top of what they're paying for cable.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. I meant that, because I think the expectation is probably, they'll negotiate with the providers and people who have it will get it. You'd like to think that'd be the case, but God, $30 is a big ask, especially these days, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. This is one of those situations where I wonder how much, when you talk about, when the product goes downhill, the one thing that we've talked about that WWE has, that Triple H has been very good at, is crafting characters and placing them with performers, or allowing the performers to really inhabit these characters in a way that gets over with fans. I don't know what, where does the enthusiasm for that end and the necessity for good stories begins? Because you look at the crowd last night on Raw, and god damn, they are into a lot, and if they have that positive buzz for, oh yeah, I love these characters, and the stories are fine, good enough, competent, then I think they can keep this going for a long time. What would be interesting is if ESPN finds that with these premium live events on their app, if they start pulling in numbers the way Saturday night's main events pull in numbers, where it's like, NBC, it's not. Do they need NBC numbers for it to be considered a success by ESPN? Or is, Peacock level numbers for those premium live events, are those good enough for ESPN? I just don't know what the metric ESPN needs is. And if they meet the metric, then it doesn't matter if a certain segment of the fan base tunes out. You might see a migration from Peacock to, well, YouTube's good enough. The YouTube clips are fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially for something like Saturday night's main event, which...
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Nothing happens
just as much commercials as wrestling.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, I don't know. People find a way. This is such a fucking tangent. But, you go to, what's that place? Like a Dave & Buster's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you think, oh, God, man, people can't afford shit anymore. Man, those places are packed. And that shit's expensive as fuck.
Not cheap. It is not cheap.
I go to Denny's, literally the other day. We were coming back from Bama's soccer game, and she scored a goal. And it was like, all right, man, let's go get some McDonald's. And we pull up, and she's like, I don't want anything. And I was like, yeah, I don't really need anything. But Bama wants, the nuggets. And she's like, we can go to Denny's. And I'm like, Denny's going to be like $100 for the three of us. McDonald's is like 20
40
for one person.
Yeah.
It's not that. Shit's so expensive these days.
It is.
But people find a way, and as long as they have that goodwill with fans, and I think part of it is the legitimacy that stuff like ESPN brings. It's like, oh, they're on ESPN,
That's real sports.
Well, yeah, there is I feel like there is a legitimacy there that for a lot of the fan base is like, oh, that's a big deal. They must be good. I don't know, man. I feel like I'll put it this way, until I see it, I won't believe that they're going to start going downhill, because the characters that they present are just, they've got goodwill with fans towards that.
They do. So I have the numbers here of the WWE ESPN deal. 5 years, averaging $325 million a year. Total value is $1.6 billion.
Fuck. God, you said $300 million a year?
325.
Jesus.
So $1.6 billion total.
And I think this was what was it, 30% more than they had on Peacock or something like that?
Something like that.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot. I'm excited to talk about this one. Hot take here from Gorilla Mon says Wrestlepalooza is the worst PLE name ever. I'd be incredibly embarrassed to be watching WWE if someone walked the room when the name of the show is being said. Gorilla Mon, were you watching when Great Balls of Fire was a PLE name?
So I call complete and total. I love Gorilla Mon. Gorilla Mon's always in our shit, giving us takes and all that kind of stuff. Gorilla Mon's wrong. Wrestlepalooza is a great name.
No,
I love that name.
I don't like Wrestlepalooza either.
Oh, come on. You don't like fun, Larson, because Wrestlepalooza is a fun wrestling name. I love that name. Come on. We want something boring like No Mercy or No Way Out.
No, I don't like any of those either.
Backlash. All right, what's your favorite?
Most pay-per-views have terrible names.
What's your favorite? What's your top 5 favorite? Wrestlepalooza ain't no worse than WrestleMania if you think about it.
I like the in-your-house names.
I like when they would just name shit like In Your House, Degeneration X.
In Your House, Beware of Dog.
See, that's good.
They're
like
themed shows.
Yeah, I don't mind.
That's what I like
one.
about them.
Let's see here.
Now, Wrestlepalooza is not the worst. I'm not huge on it, but it's far from the worst.
Bad Blood's good.
Yeah, Bad Blood's a good one.
I like Bad Blood. I loved Great Balls of Fire. Are you kidding me? Somebody walks in. What are you watching? Great Balls of Fire? It's a WWE pay-per-view. Wow, that sounds fun. Look at the logo. It's a fucking bollock on fire.
Yeah, people are going to be like, what the hell is this shit?
What unfun person is going to come in walking by? Everybody I know is hella fun. They come in, they're like, Great Balls of Fire. That sounds great.
You don't know anybody who would do that. Not a single person.
I don't have very much. Hilton would?
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would. Get out of town.
He would not
say
that. He would not say. He would laugh and say that name's ridiculous.
What are you talking about? You're crazy. He'd grab a big bowl of mashed potatoes, plunk down next to me, and watch Great Balls of Fire. Get out of here.
He watched the
that.
show, but he wouldn't be like, "Wow, that name's fun. Therefore, the show must be fun."
Man, get out of here with that. Hilton would love that name.
No, I've known Hilton way longer than you have. I think I know him better than you.
Oh, get out of here.
Next time we do a shoot interview.
At a certain point, knowing a person for 30 years is just fine as opposed to 40 years.
Next time we'd have him on for a shoot interview, we should do like the Newlywed Game type thing.
Ooh, hey, all right. I like that. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
We gotta do that tag team version of
No.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
That'd
Get
be
some
fun.
people on here.
That'd be fun.
If only I had more time. Oh, look at this. June. What year was this? I'm looking at all. So 2009, they had a pay-per-view called The Bash. Oh, the Bash, probably Bash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
Bash.
American Bash. Great
The
American
Bash, and it was at Arco Arena.
Yeah. Wasn't Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho on that card, I believe.
So I just have the main event here. Oh, I can look it up though. Here we go. The Bash. Yeah. Let's see. What was it? Events. Results. What'd you say was on here?
I thought Shawn Michaels versus Jericho had a match on that card.
I got Randy Orton, Triple H, John Cena, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, Michelle McCool, Melina, Edge, and Chris Jericho defeated the Colognes.
Must have been The Bash then.
I guess so. Match. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Next one here from JMC 1396 is not a hot take at all, but I absolutely love when people like AJ Lee or LA Knight use their promo time to promote how important taking care of your mental health is, and it's okay to feel sad, okay to cry, and okay to ask for help. 1,000% agree.
Me too. I agree with that. And when she was like, "Oh, cheer for therapy," I was like, that is so. It's so that's one thing that was just. It was just such a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, God, can we talk to people for reals, please?
I know.
Instead of everything being a fucking let me tell you something, brother.
Yep. 1,000%. Next one here.
For as much as the wrestlers say, you people really lift me up. Well, let's lift up the people. How about that?
The True Kid Goku says wrestling has more average points than high points. It can't stay as good as WrestleMania 40 for too long. This is the norm of wrestling. I'm guessing historically speaking. Yeah, this is the norm.
Well, that's the average is the norm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it says average points, not average. It averages average points.
Yeah, no, I know what I mean. Yeah, there'd be a new average if there was a lot more high points. The average would go up, I guess.
Yeah, the average of quality would go up, yes.
Yeah.
But it said the average of average is the same.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like it could be, there could be a lot more high points.
We said this, we've talked about this before about how too many, and it's the pay-per-view model, so I get it. Too many stories kind of rise and fall roughly the same time.
Yeah, right.
And that probably has to do with, you got to build the matches on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Whereas if there was if they kind of staggered them out.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have, a peak here while another story is maybe in a bit of a lull, building things up. And you have a peak, so that story peaks when another story is kind of building things up.
I would pay so much money to watch you walk into that writer's room on Unreal.
Oh,
and start
Triple H
this.
would go through a whole bag of ice. A 3-pound bag of ice that you get at the grocery store. Listen to my bullshit. I got on the whiteboard and draw these waveforms on there.
Yeah, right. Couple of Venn diagrams.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that is always the one thing that I sort of go back to is like, I've never written pro wrestling in my life. I've never even wanted to be a booker. What do I know? But yeah, I don't think it's out of pocket to sit back. We do the same thing with movies, and yet, we haven't made a movie in we still do little skits, huh? I think it's perfectly normal to sit back and critique something and understand, hey, this is something that I think wrestling should be a bit more of, but also understanding that it's probably a miracle that it goes off as smooth as it does in the first place too.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as they call any movie being finished a miracle, what they accomplish with pro wrestling on a weekly basis with television is really fucking crazy. And
it is.
People who are able to accomplish that, really, they should be. It's pretty impressive to be able to do that shit.
Yeah. Next up here from Marvell says, hot take, Alistair, Rusev, and Andrade were all booked better in AEW.
There was a moment when Rusev was, and it was when he won that TNT title off of Darby Allin, and he was delivering those awesome promos.
Oh, that whole stretch was awesome. Until he lost it to Sammy, he was maybe the best character in all of AEW.
Yeah. So there was a moment there. Alistair, I think Alistair was honestly a disappointment from beginning to end.
Once Arn used arm to block Black Mass,
it was kind of done.
That was kind of it. And Andrade really hasn't booked terribly well in AEW or WWE.
No, but he always had killer matches.
Yeah.
He always has killer matches, but in AEW, when you're allowed to do a bunch more, boy, oh boy, he had some fucking killer matches.
He did. He did.
So, but yeah, with Andrade, it's kind of a wash because he is not really booked in WWE all that interesting.
He hasn't even been on TV in a little while.
Sometimes he's simply not booked, yeah.
John Bear Gaming, hot take, says Jon Moxley is a terrific wrestler altogether, but the Death Rider storyline has made people forget that. I think Jon Moxley is a very capable wrestler that at moments does interesting stuff. But I feel like the Jon Moxley character in AEW, for the most part, has been fairly one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tough dude who likes to fight.
Yeah.
And very rarely has there been a whole lot of dimension apart from that. And his more interesting stuff is when he's allowed to get more creative, and that's usually the stipulation matches. When he wrestles a regular one-on-one bout, I generally lose interest pretty quick.
Yeah, his match with Garcia on Collision was really good.
Yeah.
Dude, I honestly do think, I think there's something to be said about this take. I think that Jon Moxley can be killer wrestling guy. I feel like the performer probably prefers the character to be more of a one-dimensional brawler type guy. I think he just thinks that type of wrestling fits his character better. But I think when push comes to shove, he can be just awesome wrestler guy. I think he can be that. I just think that his idea of his character might preclude him from being that, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it does. It does, because, your character your ring work should align with who your character is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Because I think it's clear he's got an affinity for that old school type wrestler, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he can be just really good wrestler guy.
We got a hot take here from, how do you pronounce this?
Morgiro.
All right. Says Samoa Joe is the most underrated wrestler of all time. People know he's good, but he gets overlooked because he gets compared to AJ Styles.
Oh, I don't know. I think Samoa Joe I think everybody I know in the wrestling world thinks that Samoa Joe is like fucking amazing. I don't know if I'd consider that underrated.
maybe the idea is his body of work is comparable enough to AJ Styles that he should be mentioned in the same kind of
as
breath
like an
as
in-ring
AJ.
guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Where AJ is generally lauded as one of the best in-ring performers ever.
Yeah. I mean, dude, look, I don't ever want to say anything negative about Samoa Joe, but I feel like I've seen enough of his matches and enough of AJ Styles matches to be like, AJ is like a generational in-ring guy. Like, generational. Samoa Joe might be a generational character.
Generational promo.
Generational promo. He might be on the Mount Rushmore of promos if we're talking, just best of all time. He could be up there. God, he's good.
Gosh, he's so good.
He's
With
really
gravitas, he carries himself with. It's off the charts.
He's such a Tarantino character.
Yeah. Joe definitely has the advantage if we're doing comparisons to AJ. Joe definitely has the advantage on AJ in those regards.
Yeah.
And Joe is a really good in-ring worker too.
Yeah, no, he's really good. But like comparing somebody's in-ring with AJ Styles is like comparing somebody's in-ring with HBK. Sean Lawrence says Kane was incredibly overrated. Yeah, he looked cool, but he never had good matches. His best work is with Daniel Bryan and Team Hell No.
1,000% agree. I never found Kane that interesting from an in-ring perspective.
I will say this about Kane.
He got by in presentation so much.
I'm gonna differ a little bit on this. I don't think just anybody could have been under that mask. I think when you take a look, comparatively speaking, at dudes that size, him doing what he did in the ring, not a lot of people that size could like.
Athletically, you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people could do that. He never had his late Undertaker run, like that little sweet spot of Undertaker run, the 4 years of the end of an era type
when he
stuff.
wrestled once or twice a year, yeah.
And storytelling wise, Undertaker put on some really good matches.
Yeah.
Kane never had that.
No.
And I'm with you. Look, even if Glenn Jacobs was like the coolest fucking dude in the world, it never really, Kane really never did much for me beyond, oh man, the presentation. We both liked Corporate Kane because he was funny. Glenn Jacobs, he's a funny guy. But yeah, you always kind of knew, like when we were watching wrestling, oh, you're going to get Undertaker versus Kane again. Okay. Well, that's
all right. Here's a 1.5 star match.
That's a skippable one right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Monica Carrillo here says AEW is better at using their entire roster. Steve is the only reason I know Apollo Crews is still in WWE.
He's injured. He is injured.
Did you shout out Apollo Crews recently on Wrestle Juice?
Yeah, man. I always get asked, like, who needs a better gimmick? Who needs a character? Who's underutilized? Who's this? Who's that? It's always Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
Guy's a killer wrestler, and I think he's got charisma. He just never has unlocked the character, and besides little bits and pieces. AEW's better at using their entire roster. I mean, who in WWE? Apollo Crews is injured right now, but who else in WWE really isn't being... I will say this. I really wish WWE would faction up more.
Yeah. That's the advantage AEW has, is they have more factions.
But here's the thing.
Larger factions.
They don't do factions as good as WWE does factions. Look at Judgment Day. We always get backstage shit showing their chemistry. The best of the Bloodline was their backstage shit, or even in the ring shit, showing their chemistry. The character dynamics playing off each other. They don't do that enough. AEW... How much interaction between the Death Riders did we ever get? None.
A ton. It was
nothing.
mostly Mox just talking.
Yeah, nothing.
So right now I'm looking at WWE's roster in terms of talent that's not really being used. The Creeds haven't been on TV in a little bit. Alpha Academy ain't doing much. They're on TV sporadically, but it's been a while. Trying to just look at people who aren't injured. Andrade hasn't been on TV in a little bit. Oh, Pretty Deadly. Elton Prince is hurt.
We are so pretty.
Nakamura.
Yeah, Nakamura's an epic. That's an epic fumble right there, man. I don't know what they're doing with that guy.
Yeah, everybody else that hasn't been on TV seemingly seems to be injured currently.
Yeah. AEW being better at using their entire roster. I mean, put them on TV, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's not really something I give much thought to. I mean, there was that period of time under Vince when, you would think about half the roster and be like, where the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen much anymore.
No, there's as mentioned, it wasn't a whole lot of names there that I mentioned that aren't being used on TV. And the thing with AEW too is not only is there Dynamite and Collision, there's still a lot of crossover between Ring of Honor and AEW.
Yeah.
So while there might be somebody who's not on AEW television regularly, they might be on Ring of Honor. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
the Mooches here with a hot take. Says,
I can't wait to get your take on this one, Steve.
Pearl Jam would have been a better band if they had a different singer. What the fuck? I will concede that Lane Staley, Chris Cornell, and even Scott Weiland is one hell of a peer group to hang with. Trying to say that Eddie Vedder isn't in the same class as Scott Weiland is wild. I like Scott Weiland too, but that's wild business. That's crazy.
I would like to know more in terms of why. Why would Pearl Jam been a better band if they had a different singer, according to the Mooches?
I mean, I listened to some Mother Love Bone. No respect to the, what's his name?
You mean no disrespect?
No disrespect intended to
Andrew Wood?
Andrew Wood, thank you. Yeah, who passed away, obviously. But that wasn't it.
Regardless how you feel about Eddie Vedder's vocal abilities, he was maybe the most influential singer of the early 90s.
What did we say in a previous Hot Takes episode?
How many singers started popping up that wanted to sound exactly like Eddie Vedder?
Well, more specifically, how many bands made millions of dollars aping Eddie Vedder's sound?
Here's my hot take about Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam be a better band if they had a different lead guitar player.
Oh, you think so?
Like if you listen to, so they had the single where Neil Young played lead instead of Mike McCready.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it's so much better. It's so much better. Like I know Mike McCready's a good guitar player.
Yeah.
But it's Stevie Ray Vaughan licks he plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially on 10. Like he's a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix fan. I get it. They're great. But so much of his playing is just that.
So you wish the Dirty Frank lyrics was a shoot?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my gosh, that's actually a really interesting take. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of like other contemporaries like if Mark Lanegan had been with Pearl Jam instead somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
But then Eddie wrote
he wrote
his
the lyrics.
fucking songs.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of lyrics and wrote a lot of the music post. Yeah.
So it'd be like a.
I mean, is that a good or bad development that Eddie started writing more of the songs, not so much the lyrics, but the songs after probably Versus? I think Vitology is probably the first one that he really. Although he wrote Rearview Mirror, that's his song.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. A better band like without Eddie, it wouldn't have been Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
it would have been just a much different. Like it's impossible to say it'd be a better band if they had a different singer because it'd be a completely different band.
What if it was Chris Cornell? He left Soundgarden to join Pearl Jam.
I mean, I just don't know like the writing situation because the writing has so much to do with it. Like the music and the music writing and the lyric.
The lyrics, yeah. Chris Cornell writes a lot of Soundgarden's material.
Yeah.
Wrote a lot of Soundgarden's material. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it would just sound like Soundgarden with more of like a classic rock band backing him up as opposed to
if you take
a band listening to a lot of Black Sabbath.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like
Hunger Strike?
If Temple of the Dog was a band that continued on and Eddie wasn't there, because at that point Eddie was just hanging out. if they were a band that continued on, I love that fucking album. That album's fucking awesome.
I mean, it does sound different than Soundgarden records.
It does. No, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the idea is, we would have had Temple of the Dog instead of Pearl Jam, I don't know. Maybe I'd be down with that. But then I wouldn't have my epic Girlfriend Break Up With Me song, Black.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that.
So, what would I have
Eddie
used?
wrote and recorded that with his band in San Diego, Bad Radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think what Temple of the Dog track would have been. Oh, man. Let's see here. Say Hello to Heaven maybe would have been my breakup song.
What about, was it Reach Down?
I gotta reach down and pick
up.
Steve up.
There it is.
And pick Steve up.
Jonathan Vieira with our last hot take says Nirvana's cover of Man Who Sold the World is better than when David Bowie sings it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Bowie version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not really.
I just listened to it the other day.
But Bowie's own cover of fucking the Spaceman one. What's that one called? Get Ground Control to Major Tom. That one, Space Oddity.
Yeah.
That was the popular version is like his own cover of his own song. He had done that before. It's a shit version of it.
Yeah.
When he redid it, it was fucking awesome. You know.
Yeah.
So that is one case where yes, I agree because I love Bowie. I think he's fucking great. You know me.
Yeah.
Fashion's like my favorite song ever.
Yeah, you love that song.
But in that case, yeah, Man Who Sold the World. I like Bowie's version well enough, but I do think that Cobain singing it is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's great when Nirvana covered it. I guess I don't really have a preference. I can appreciate the phrasing. Bowie's phrasing in his initial version is different. That's what throws me off is the phrasing of the lyrics and when they happen with respect to the instrumentation. Sometimes it seems a little off the beat or it comes in a little early.
Some of the covers that Nirvana did during Unplugged, I really would have loved to have heard studio versions of them, like actual produced versions of them. That'd have been kind of interesting because, boy, he killed it with like all that whole fucking
the Lead Belly song.
The Lead Belly song. Yeah, it was really good stuff. Anyways, that's going to do it for our Hot Takes episode today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with our What Do You Want to Talk About news episode and AEW recap. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.